This podcast is part of the Momcast Network, podcasts for mothers.
Mom!
Tell everybody I'm on roleplay. New friends and new places to see. With blue skies ahead, yes, I'm on roleplay. And there's nowhere I'd rather be. Roleplay. So this is if the band Amble were going to play a music, this would be, and we were on beforehand. This would be the preamble. This is where we have a chat before we get into. This is a preamble.
We should think about getting Amble involved.
Maybe they're guests today.
We talk about them a lot.
We do,
mostly because we call this section preamble, and it's a classic joke.
Does that mean the rest of the podcast is Amble?
Post Amble.
When's Amble then?
Amble did the little sound, you know, the ding, 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 ding. That's Amble.
That was Amble the whole time.
Yeah, they do it live every.
I thought they hated this podcast. I thought they were enemies of the pod.
But Grimley Waterbottom, our producer, is paying them quite a bit,
quite handsomely,
to do quite grimsomely to do the little sound bits in between. I don't know why he can't just record them doing it once, because it's the same sound. But he likes
every week.
Live. Yeah.
Every week. Wait, sorry. Are they on site right now?
There's like a music studio.
There's another realm.
Yeah, there's another realm,
and that's where they operate.
Where Amble are recording the little sound musical interludes.
I'm just finding this out for the first time now.
Yeah, I only found out about 10 minutes ago.
What? But I brought it up.
Yeah, crazy. Grimley must have known it was on your mind or something. He just pulled me aside.
How would he know that? How would he know it's on my mind?
I don't know. He's a very intuitive...
You stay on my mind. Do. On my mind. The new hit song by Amble.
Play on my mind.
You were all play on my mind. West End role plays. Do.
Okay, that's...
You can probably hear from our voices that we're a little bit tired today.
We're the slightest bit tired because we were at a music festival over the weekend.
We were at a music festival. Yeah, you might have heard of it. It's called All Together Now. And I suppose play together now role play.
Yeah.
We were down in Curramore Estate down in Waterford over the weekend for All Together Now Festival, and it was a fantastic weekend. It's Wednesday now. Apologies to all of our fans who
Oliver fans. Apologies to Oliver fans and the rest of the fans. Mrs. Oliver fans,
the owner of
OJ fans, Oliver Jr.
Yeah, and Oliver Fans is the owner of famous website OnlyFans.
Yes, yeah,
which is where you can find extra content for this podcast. Only messing you can't. But apologies to people who were expecting this podcast to come out on Wednesday. Today we were recording on Wednesday because we weren't able to record on Tuesday.
We were a touch under the weather.
It takes a toll. Your
toll play.
It took a toll play. You're 31 and I'm 28 and we're not getting any younger, like.
No.
And it does take a bit more of a toll play on us as you know, time goes on. But I had a great weekend.
I had a really great weekend too. We were both performing, which was nice, and we were both also just having fun and watching.
Is that all right? Like is that okay?
Various other musical acts, other comedy acts. Ross McCarthy, he did a really good set.
Ross McCarthy, famous adversary of the podcast. He did. Myself and Ross were on back to back. We were doing a back to back set, and
it's crazy they didn't get Ross McCartney.
Yeah,
I really was. That's because that's what actually I was expecting.
I was looking forward to Ross McCartney, but unfortunately got Ross McCarthy. It was funny. I thought so the MC introduced Ross McCartney as Ross McCarthy several times, and it was the fact that he said it over and over
times.
Yeah,
because I feel like every other act. I was on the day before. I was on the Saturday. You guys were on the Sunday, but obviously you heard the kind of people before me and after me being introduced. Came to see you guys. So had seen the MC introduce a number of different acts, and everyone else's name got said twice. before they came on and after they came off. Not Ross McCarthy. Ross McCarthy's name was said, I'm going to say, about 6 times in total.
And
in rapid succession.
He was like, Ross McCarthy.
You're looking forward to Ross McCarthy?
I'm looking
really
forward to
Ross McCarthy.
So I thought he was messing. I didn't hear the context of the first introduction or whatever, and I assumed he was joking, but he was not.
His name.
So when I went on, I said, "What about that guy Ross McCarthy?"
Yeah,
and everyone was like, "Oh yes." But he was great. That was my first time seeing him do stand-up comedy.
Me too.
I really enjoyed it. We were kind of off to the side of the stage, and we got to see a very good view of it, and everyone seemed to love it. It was there were some really funny bits in there.
He was very true to his weird self.
Very on brand.
Yeah,
and I think it worked perfectly. And the tent was packed. The tent was packed for himself, and then I was on straight after, and got some lovely photos of kind of the exterior of the tent, of like kind of queues to get in and stuff, which is mind blowing. So it was a really nice experience, and I was you were on the Saturday, and I was there for yourself as well, and I never get bored of your musical comedy.
And I never get bored of your musical comedy and stand-up comedy, because you also do a little bit of music.
I do.
And it's very good.
I kill a few minutes at the end with a song about being bald.
Yes.
And you can hear that song maybe if you come see me. I have a work in progress show next week, Wednesday the 12th of August, and then the following Wednesday, 19th of August in Whelan's. You can get tickets on my Instagram. And then also there, work in progress shows for my Dublin Fringe, which is on the 14th, 15th and 16th of September in Smock Alley. There's also tickets for that on my Instagram. I would love if you came. I will definitely be performing BALD Bald, which is my hit song.
It's very good.
Sorry, shameless plug there.
No, it's okay. You can also see me whenever, I don't know. Oh, Electric Picnic.
You doing Electric Picnic, yeah?
Yeah. No, well, actually, Simon Hennis is doing Electric Picnic.
Did they spell your name wrong?
Yeah, it's my evil twin who sometimes gets booked for things. And
they had an extra E in.
Yeah, evil, emphasis on the E in evil, because the difference is that he has an E before the Y in his name.
I'm actually at a stag that weekend.
Oh.
I was supposed to be doing a gig down there, but I'm at a stag.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll be staggering around.
Yeah, you going there for the whole full weekend?
I actually don't know.
Yeah.
Wrong time to ask me.
Yeah.
2 days removed from getting back to all together now. Because right now the answer is no, I'm not leaving my house ever again.
Yeah, fair enough. I do have unfinished business, I think, with festivals this year. So I'm like, is there any way of even getting down for a day? But leave that with me, and I'll talk about that more when we're both in better form.
Yes, but I think we both had a good time. I think it was a lot of fun. I think I had the most fun I've ever had on the last day at the festival, because I was dressed as a hot dog, and so was my partner,
really were,
Amar.
Your partner, Amar. He's right. I did notice. You were dressed as hot dogs because you were standing right beside me, and we were with each other for a chunk of the day. But that was a really you did warn me about that beforehand.
Yeah,
warn, not the right word.
Not the word I would have used.
Oh, thanks for warning me. That was fucking disgusting.
Just watch out, all right?
But it was really great.
It was very silly,
and I think you got a lot of nice attention because of it.
We both did. Yeah, we got a lot of attention out of it.
And is that what you were looking for? Attention?
Kind of, yeah. But I mean, look, I think mostly because it just really amused ourselves. I would get a real kick out of whenever we were separated and I would kind of catch sight of Amar. I'd be like, that is so funny. She's dressed as a hot dog. They were like, hang on a second.
And there were two.
So am I.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And these were two very different sized hot dogs as well.
Yes. Yeah. I am a good bit taller than
you'd be
Amar.
a nice big Frankfurter, and she'd be more of a cocktail sausage in comparison.
Yeah, I suppose actually that's not the worst way of putting it. But no, lots of fun was to be had. There was one point we were at Groove Line, and we were right up at the front, and they're a real kind of like mosh pity sort of act. So a big circle was cleared, and people were kind of like, get the hot dogs in. So the two of us kind of went out into the middle, and we're just sort of dancing around. And I was like, this is great.
I saw a video of that. That actually looks wonderful. It looked lovely.
It was a great time. I think
it's just a very wholesome festival. I think there's so much on for everyone. I think it is the best festival in Ireland at the moment.
That's a good Irish act.
Honestly, I think it's very good for homegrown talent, but like really good homegrown talent, like, because there's so much.
And you know them all, and it's kind of a bit embarrassing for me because I do my best to keep my ear to the ground, but I'm bad at remembering names and things and blah, blah. And you'll be there like, Bruntonus Moore are on the Skag stage, sponsored by Smirnoff at this time.
Well, no, it would be sponsored by Beamish or Re-Raw.
Right. Yeah.
Re-Raw Lager. I wouldn't go to any of that kind of.
Fwinjog Biog is DJing at the Re-Raw Underpass.
Come Jarrig.
Come Jarrig is what you said to me, and I said yes. Actually,
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Are hot dogs welcome? Because then I'm there.
You know they are. I think it's a desperate attempt to like get in with the cool Irish creatives. I think that's why I kind of try to keep abreast.
Abreast?
Yeah. Well, I keep two.
I had a good moment, which was also an embarrassing moment with all that in mind, because a guy came up to me and he said to me, he was like, "Hey man, you can rap too." And I didn't know what he meant by like two. I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks." And then another friend of mine was like, "That was Lil Skag." And I was like, "I do know who that is because I've heard his music, but I didn't recognize him." And I was like, "He's a good rapper." And he told me I can rap.
He is a good rapper.
I didn't realize in the moment. So Lil Skag, if you're listening to this, which I know you ain't, thank you for.
He hates this podcast.
He hates the podcast. Loves the rapping.
I actually, do you know what? I met Lil Skag for the first time down there at the weekend. We were mutuals or whatever, but I actually went to a cypher. This is the last. I'll finish with this. One of the coolest things I went to over the weekend was like a cypher of like all the cool Irish rappers. So you had the likes of Sugaboo, you had Lil Skag, you had Courtesy, Ahmed Would Love, and a couple of others. And
sorry, first of all, not nearly enough Gaeilge in those names.
No, fucking Bruntonus, Jarrig, and fucking Cum Madra or whatever, they weren't there. But it was fucking real. It was so mad. It was like mad, like it was like non-stop. They just like, there was like a DJ who just kept playing like well-known backing tracks. And they would just rap their lyrics, and I recognised a lot of their lyrics from their songs. But it was unbelievable, and like people were going mental, and it was deadly. But anyway, I saw a lad I knew at the front, and I went up to him, and I stayed there, and then afterwards I met Lil Skag, and they're all fucking legends as well. So
that's cool.
I think there's a lot of look. I wouldn't be the big, like I wouldn't have a huge knowledge of like rap or Irish rap or whatever, but it does seem like there's something exciting happening in that scene, and I really enjoyed it.
A scene we are part of. Can I just say, and I'm actually shocked we weren't asked. You know, our rap group Bold Cap, who are an Irish language rap group, why we weren't asked to partake, I don't know. Yeah, it was kind of fucked up. We should have got up there and probably spit some bars. But look, next year's our year. Next year. But listen, thank you so much for anyone who did come to see us over the weekend. Yes. I hope you had a good one. But I suppose back to the podcasting situation here. Well, you know, another sort of group we have to thank is a group of people that we wouldn't be able to do this podcast without, really. Not a chance. No, not even close. I would argue we wouldn't even be able to perform our own gigs at the festival without these people. They're the sponsors. They don't sponsor our individual careers, but in many ways their sponsorship is so strong and generous and loving. They're like the Medici family or something. They're like merchants during the Renaissance. We may get the Medici family as sponsors at some stage. At some point, we've had a ridiculous variety of sponsors. Yeah, it's been nice. It's been nice. But I suppose I haven't introduced the podcast. This is Roleplay, the podcast where we play roles. I'm Ryan Carrick, and I'm Simon Hennessy, and we want to thank our Medicis, not the Medicis, but the Medicis are sponsors for this week, who are these guys. Are you living in your own world? Do you not understand that anything can happen when you take a chance? Have you never believed in what you couldn't see? And have you never opened your heart to all the possibilities? Well, from now on, you're going to know that something has changed, that you've never felt this way. And right here tonight, this could be the start of something new. It's gonna feel so right to be here with you. And now, looking in your eyes, you are definitely gonna feel in your heart the start of something new. Viagra, the start of something new, and the sponsor of this episode.
Thanks, Viagra.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Roleplay. I am your host, Simon. You may have seen that the box office is being smashed yet again by another entry into the Spider-Man film franchise. This latest film, which is called Spider-Man and then something else, I'm not exactly sure, is doing really, really well. And as always, Spider-Man is receiving heaps of attention. But there is another very similar individual who might be a little bit closer to home for some of you listeners with a very similar story who hasn't really got his share of the spotlight. And we're going to try and correct that today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto the couch, Spider Fella.
How are you doing, Simon? Yeah, how's the crack?
Voice a little bit gone there, Spider
Well, no,
Fella.
that's actually just how I sound.
Oh, okay.
And I was also down it all together now the weekend there.
Right.
Just gone, yeah.
Yeah. Did you see any hot dogs popping around at any point?
I was at Groove Line, yeah,
Yeah.
and I saw this kind of mosh pit starting,
Yeah.
and I saw these two hot dogs, one very big, like a big Frankfurter, and the other more like a cocktail sausage. They were dancing around in the middle. It was most brilliant.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's what I like to hear. Thank
Yeah.
you very much, Spider Fella, and thank you for joining us today to tell us your story, because it's a story that I think it's fair to say not enough people have heard, even though it bears a lot of similarities to a certain other spider guy.
Well, look, this is no shade towards Peter Parker of Queens, you know, of New York. He is a very good Spider-Man, you know. He is a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and he helps people, and he has saved people. And, you know, there's been different iterations. You know, the most recent one, you know, he was involved in a multiversal sort of thing.
Yeah.
He saved the planet from Thanos and all that. So,
Yeah. Willem Dafoe.
what?
Willem Dafoe was,
Willem Dafoe, brilliant actor.
yeah, and he was the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came back.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
You and me can rule this city, Spider-Man, or we can just eat Cheetos.
Well, I don't remember that line.
It's from the third one. But, you know, I think he's doing great things out there, but I think it's the fact that he takes all the attention. You know, he has movies coming out now with some of the biggest openings, domestic openings ever, you know, since the history of cinema. And I just think that there's other people out there with similar abilities, like myself, similar stories, and we get thrown by the wayside, you know. Nobody thinks about us. Whoa, we are, but
Right, yes. You are, but. So, Spider Fella, I think you're right in what you're saying there. So, Spider Fella,
so sad about it.
why don't you Spider tell a story about you? Tell us your tale, your origin, where you come from, how you got your powers, what your powers look like, and how you use those powers.
For good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because with great power
Comes great with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
You know? And my uncle Anto, right? Before he was taken from us, yeah, he said to us, he
Dublin
said,
name.
what?
It's very typically Dublin name there, Uncle.
So what?
Anto.
It's exactly what I'm going for.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get it. It's coming across, so don't you worry.
What do you want me to say? Uncle Benji or something?
Well, no, I just want you. Is it what was his
Uncle
name?
Anto.
Uncle Anto. Okay.
Yeah. And he was taken
Anto
from...
Man.
No, what?
You know Ant Man?
Anto Man.
That could be.
Could be something.
Yeah, we'll put
Could
a pin
be
in that.
put a pin in it. Put a little spider pin in it. Yeah. But anyway, I was in school, yeah. I was back in the class, yeah, fucking dusting, and a little spider crawled at me little back, yeah,
Oh my
and
God.
bit me. And ever since then, I've had these mad abilities, mad powers. Look at what a spider would have, yeah?
Yeah.
And you know, some Spider-Men, some iterations of Spider-Man, they have, you know, the organic weapon that shoots straight out of the skin. You might remember Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Versus the kind of manufactured the ones, the little things they make on their wrist.
Yeah.
Like that would be more Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland.
Yep.
You know, and there's, you know, a lot to be said for either or. I prefer the organic weapon myself now. That's my hot take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. It's.
But I can also climb up walls, and I can swing on webs, and I can have super strength, and I save people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the classic spider guy way.
Spider fella.
Yeah. And you're out there, you're saving people. I would say Dublin is tough because it's a very low-rise city.
Yeah.
You're kind of probably
I
just...
mostly spend my time around Grand Canal Dock.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, mostly...
A lot of people getting saved around Grand
Yeah, a
Canal.
lot of tech workers. A lot of tech workers.
A lot of crime in Grand Canal Dock?
Not really. So I'm not too busy, but I would like to say that I'm to thank for the lack of crime as well. I've contributed to it, but obviously the clientele and the people who
Very white collar.
Very white collar. Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of people, they don't take it very seriously, obviously, because of the web coming out with cock and stuff. But like, I just think that I deserve the same recognition as the likes of Tom Holland, Tom Maguire, and the other fella.
Now you've said something there that we have to go back and talk about. I think full well.
I think tech workers deserve to be saved as well.
Not tech workers.
They have to go get.
A lot of people would say they don't.
They have to go get their Sprout and Co. I have to be there to save them in case somebody overcharges them, or they drop their Sprout and Co. I have to stop it from falling on the ground, because I have very quick reactions.
Okay, there are much worse things happening in Dublin that you could be addressing, but that's
The
not what we need to go back to.
Low rise.
The cock. It's
What?
the cock.
What?
You said web coming out of your cock. That's what you said, Spider Fella. And that is...
may have said that because that's where the web comes from.
Comes. Yeah. Literally comes.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Right, so for you that phrase means like something a little different.
Yeah.
It essentially means with great power ejaculates great responsibility.
But that hardly rolls off the tongue, does it? Hardly rolls off the tongue. So with great power ejaculates great responsibility. Doesn't even make sense. So when that spider bit me,
it just comes great responsibility.
It comes LCUM. When that spider... Don't make that face at me. You look disappointed. When I got bitten by that spider, I didn't get to choose where my webs came from. That's why I prefer the organic webbing. It comes from my little flu.
Don't call it your little flute.
It's my little spider flu.
Look, I appreciate you don't... It's not up to you where it comes from. You don't have to Come on. You don't have to refer to it as your little spider flute.
What do you want me to say? Simon, seriously, what do you want me to say? It is my little spider flu.
Talk me through your costume then. Talk me through what you're wearing. Is it like the classic red and blue sort of web design, big eyes, and then your dick is just hanging out, is it?
Exactly. You've seen me. That's exactly.
No, I actually haven't.
That's exactly it. It's the exact same as, the original, the traditional Spider-Man costume from the comics, the blue and red, and there's just a big hole there where my shaft would be, and that would be used to then swing around the Grand Canal Dock. Grand Canal Cock is what I call it.
I guess that makes sense that you would call it that. Is it jizz? Is it like a sort of a superpowered jizz? Are you erect when this is happening? No, don't look at me like that. You're the one who brought your little spider flute into this, so...
Don't ever call it a little spider flute. Okay.
You called it that.
Yeah, it's my spider flute.
You called it that.
Don't... Yes, I'm erect.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Hard as nails.
So you're out there, Grand Canal Dock.
How do you...
Lunch hour comes around.
How do you think spider webs are coming over flat?
I've never thought about it.
How could you even live with yourself after conjuring up a thought like that?
I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to try and find a way to live with myself. I'm finding it hard to summon the mental picture of you up in a building on Grand Canal Dock, looking down on the tech workers being like, oh, I need to make sure they don't drop their sprout. And what, are you like... You jerking off to get it hard so that you can swing down? That is fucked up.
That is a crazy question to ask when you're a guest. Are you jerking off?
You're the one who told me you're erect.
It's one pull and done.
One pull and done.
Yeah.
Do you have to give it a little yank, a little tug every time you want to shoot one of your...
Yeah, well, how else is it going to know what I want?
I don't know how else.
I give it one tug.
Spider fella. That's why I'm asking you.
But it's very accurate.
Right.
And very powerful.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Very malleable as well.
Skeeter Parker.
Schmeeder, actually, is my name.
Okay, Skeeter would make more sense because I like to skeet.
No, but it's using my shmee.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And
I'm packing shmee.
I'm sure you are.
That was another one of the side effects.
Yeah. Do the tech workers like this? Do they like you zipping down with your erect penis to catch their food or make sure they don't overpay? What do you do in that scenario? How are you saying? What's the move there, Spider fella? With your dick out.
Look.
Oh, you've charged them too much. Is that it?
I'll have a chat. I'll just have a chat.
Anyone can do that. You don't need to swing down for that. You can just be wearing normal trousers.
I'll appeal to the humanity and I'll say, look, the lads are here all the time. Would you not? Maybe let them off from, the extra charges for guac or whatever they charge for,
Right.
Yeah. And I'll say, if you don't, lads, I'm gonna fucking shoot webs all over this fucking place.
Right, yeah. Out of your very erect spider flute.
What are you saying, very?
Well, I think you said earlier. Well, erect at the very least. Yeah.
All the lads call me Spider Cum. I don't like it.
I kind of get it though. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, fair. Thanks, Simon. Thank you for having me on and let me tell my side of the story.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I'm glad you've told it.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot here. Not necessarily stuff I wanted to know, but I know it now, and I can't unlearn it. So, anyway, that's it. That's all we have time for. Go out and catch Spider-Man Big Day or whatever it's called.
Brand new day.
Brand new day.
Oh, my movie, Spider Fella, brand new cum.
Yeah, you can go and catch that somewhere as well, I guess. How's that doing at the box office?
Not well.
Cox office.
Cockaspaffus.
Thank you so much, Spider Fella.
Spafferman.
Yep.
What else can we say? That's probably about it.
Yeah, we'll leave it there and we'll circle back. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Other podcasts on the Momcast network include Young Hot Maz, Call Me Mammy, and the one you're listening to right now. Hello and welcome back to Roleplay. It's me, Ryan Carrick, and today we're joined by a very special guest off the back of the success of a previous interview on Roleplay with Goose Springsteen, the Goose version of Bruce Springsteen, the boss. We are today joined by another Goose-like famous performer and singer. It is Elvis Presgeese. Elvis, thank you so much for joining us.
Here, mama. Come on.
I'm gonna be a daddy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a.
They took my hair, mama.
Yes.
Took my feathers, mama.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right, mama.
Right. Well, Elvis, thank you so much for joining us today. I suppose you are, like, would you be dead like the real Elvis?
Well, I'll tell you what never dies. Quack and roll.
Quack and roll. Very good.
Yeah.
Listen, how you've had, a very very successful career. You're one of the biggest icons, I suppose, in the goose goosic.
Yeah, all right.
Industry
like that,
yeah. How has that been? Can you talk me through? Take me back to the start, maybe, and tell me how that kind of all kicked off. When did you realize that this was your dream?
Sure can, mama. So we got to go all the way back to the south of the pond.
What pond?
The pond.
What, the Atlantic Ocean?
Quack and roll, the music. They call me the king of quack. Quack, quack, quack. And I just picked up my guitar, started to move my little goosey hips.
Goosey hips.
Yeah, that's what I started to do.
Do geese have hips?
I mean, this goose has hips. Yeah, I'm on tonight. These hips don't lie. Shakira, really good artist. A little after my time.
Duckira, as we like to call her. This side of said pond.
Also, sometimes.
But you have some of the most iconic songs in history.
Yeah,
you've created some of the most timeless, classics really, that are still being blasted across radios and on speakers and in true headphones to this day.
Yeah.
How do you think you achieved such a long lasting legacy when it comes to your music?
Well, mama, it's all about being true to yourself.
It is, and like that from speaking to various artists across on this podcast.
You saw this?
Goose. Well, we've talked to one Goose Springsteen. Are you familiar with Goose Springsteen?
Yeah, pretty cool guy. Yeah,
but I suppose he would have maybe only come to prominence after your time, really.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably true. My music, my Goosic, kind of probably a little bit earlier than his. We're talking about 50s, 60s. Back in the day.
And that's how Elvis Presgeese talks.
Yeah, mama.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, that's sort of. I just got to keep bringing it back to mama every now and again.
Yeah, and that kind of keeps you grounded, or keeps you.
But I play what's good. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just pick up a guitar, and you never know what's gonna come out, and before you know it, you got a big hit with something like "You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all time."
Yeah.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Well, Hound Duck was definitely one of your biggest songs, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, you ain't never caught a mallard and you ain't no friend of mine.
A mallard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of similar enough to Goose Springsteen, you would kind of shoehorn in the words like duck, mallard, and goose or geese into.
Well, there's one for the money, two for the show, three for the go, now don't you step on my goose, suede goose. You can do anything, but lay off of my goose, suede goose, mama.
Goose, suede goose.
Yeah.
That's egregious. No, that's brilliant. And obviously, the impact that this music has had on,
mama.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. And what are you up to now? Like, what can you, or do you want to talk about more? Give me another song. Do you have
another one of my songs? You want to hear another couple of Elvis Presgeese classics? I mean, everybody knows them. They're huge hits. They're in the Quack and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they are
one of them. You go all the way back to some of my classics. We dancing to the Quail House Duck.
Quail House Duck.
Yeah, mama.
Yeah. What's quail?
It's sort of.
Duck eggs.
Yeah, I think it's another type of a duck-like creature.
Oh, it's duck-like. You think it
is?
Quail
eggs.
Yeah,
I'm not
quail eggs. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Quail House Duck instead of rock. Yeah. Okay, amazing.
We're dancing to the Quail House Duck, mama.
Any others?
Yeah, I certainly do. Yeah. You want to hear more of my songs?
I'd love to.
I bet you're familiar with them.
I'd love to.
I'm sure you know all them all.
I know them all,
mama,
yeah.
You know them all.
I know them all.
You know the mama.
Yeah. I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I know the music. I know the music, but for somebody
who's listening, conversation, a little more quaction, please.
The please sound quite genuine there. Sincere. Please. Amazing. Yeah. And
Lord Almighty, feel my temperature rising. Higher and higher, it's burning through to my soul. And so on and so on. A hunk of burning duck. A hunk of burning duck. That'd be kind of upsetting if I saw a hunk of burning duck.
Yeah, that would be. But I was going to ask you then off the back of that, like, what are your feelings towards duck and ducks?
Well, duck, goose.
Like, would you duck to goose? Yeah, it's a very famous game. You know the people.
Mama.
How do you view ducks? Like, would you get on with
through
ducks?
My eyes.
How do you
view them through my eyes?
How do you get on with them?
Yeah, well,
would you be friendly?
Would I be friendly
with duck-like creatures? Yeah,
I'm not friendly. I'm Elvis Presgeese, mama.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
What would your relationship to ducks or quail even be?
Look, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
A lot of these ducks, they can be pretty nice, but some of them, I look at them and I say, "You're the devil in disguise. Oh, yes, you are. Devil in disguise."
Devil in disguise, yeah. So you would say that to a duck?
Yeah.
Who is seemingly nice, but is...
But in fact, they're...
Yeah.
Like, you look like an angel. And then I do the rest of the song that leads up to the bit where I go, "But I got wise. You're the devil in disguise." That's what I do, mama.
I know that's what you do, and that's amazing. Yeah. That is amazing, and that's why we love you so much. Okay, give me one more song, and then I'm going to have to press you on other things.
I'm all dug up.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And
Viva Las Vegas.
Okay, now that's good.
Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
That's actually a classic. That's probably one of my favorites that
Thank you,
you've
Mama.
made.
Thank you so much, Mama.
But I just want to address the
allegations.
the allegations, really. The allegations. Was Priscilla not significantly younger than you when you started seeing her? I think she's like 14.
Hey, look, sometimes you find a nice chick,
Yeah.
Mama.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I say chick, I mean in the sense of that's what you call you wouldn't really call a baby duck or goose that, would you? That's more of a chicken thing.
Yeah.
But there's all sort of birds, I like birds, Mama. Wah!
But you didn't put all your eggs in one basket when it came to that, did it? Like were you loyal? Were you faithful?
Well, I guess you could say sometimes I was a bit of a bad egg. Wah, wah.
And I just want to talk about your time in Vegas. You had what do you call it? You had a residency at one of the big clubs
no way
there.
to get goose in there, is there?
What?
No way to get goose into the word residency, is there?
Well, I wasn't trying to.
Okay, yeah.
I wasn't trying to.
That's okay, Mama.
Sometimes words are just
That's
words.
all right now, Mama. That's all right with goose.
I'm gonna be a daddy. But that probably wasn't the happiest part of your life, because you were.
No,
I know your manager he was the one who maybe encouraged you or I don't know, coerced you into taking that and for staying there for many years.
Yeah, and I died on the toilet. I drowned. I fell in. I'm only a goose.
Yeah.
Didn't fit on the toilet. Fell
Did
in.
you
Drowned,
use?
Mama.
Did you use? Toilet duck on your toilet?
Yeah, I used duck, and then I fell right in, Mama.
Yeah, but I think people say that was because of your diet and stuff.
Yeah, my ducket was it wasn't good.
No,
I was
too many burgers.
Bread.
But you're eating. Ducks
So much
aren't supposed to eat bread.
Yeah,
Really?
everybody was just. I'd be up on stage, they'd be throwing bread at me, and I'd be like, "Well, I'm gonna eat that, Mama."
Because you're not going to say no to a bit of bread.
I ain't gonna say no to a little bit of bread. I'm Elvis bread geese. bread geese.
You keep saying it. Maybe then it'll sound good.
Yeah, Mama.
But come here, thank you so much to Elvis Presgeese for joining us today and enlightening us on, I suppose, taking us on a trip down memory lane on how. Is that you agreeing? Maybe you agree with me afterwards. Yeah.
Mama.
So thanks, Elvis Presgeese.
Wah.
What?
Wah.
Wah wah. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Thanks a million. Okay.
Thank you very much. Elvis Presgeese has left the building. Wah.
Well,
Good stuff.
that was good to hear from Elvis Presgeese there.
Yeah.
Like he's obviously, one of the most iconic musicians of all time and performers, so
Huge name. I would say even a bigger name than Goose Springsteen. So
I would say in terms of his impact on
music.
culturally, I just think it's bigger than Goose Springsteen for sure.
Hard to know where we even go from there if Grimley can get an even bigger Goose musician guest down the line. But if I know Grims, he'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be the last time I interview a Goose musician, to be honest.
No, you know what? I actually would be inclined to agree there. I'd say there's a decent chance the next time, maybe we're a bit tired and kind of struggling to think
And
of
phoning it in a little
topical.
bit. Maybe.
Yeah, I think there's a chance.
Yeah.
Another goose session, you said,
Yeah.
could pop up. But we'll have to see. And it was great to hear from Spider Fella too.
Or Spider-Cum, as he's known in some circles.
Yeah, keeping all of our tech workers safe in their sprouts.
And hope, and bringing about a more kind of affordable
Yeah.
lunchtime option, I think, by making sure that he's on the side of workers and
Yeah, exactly. Because
but
they're a marginalized group, those tech workers.
for
in
sure,
Canal
for
Dock,
sure.
So
If anyone didn't have the discretionary spending, is that what it's called?
sure. I'd say
It's tech workers.
it is tech workers.
But he does shoot webbing out of his
It's erect.
spider penis.
Yeah.
So you got to hand it to him. It was a brave story to tell.
It was, yeah, it was. He was eager to tell it. He had no qualms about his cums.
He no comes about his qualms either.
Yeah.
But this brings us to the dice rolling segment of the podcast. This is where we roll a dice. There's 6 sides on the dice, which corresponds to 6 scenarios or sketches that you, the listener, have sent in, and whatever we land on, that's what we will do. So without further ado, I'd say let's roll that dice. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'm going to do it right now.
All right.
4.
4
is...
4 is from Mundane Bloodstain.
Thank you, Mundane Bloodstain. Crazy name, but we love it.
Crazy name. And you're... and it just says Derek and Clive.
Derek and Clive.
That's all it says. You're not giving us much to go on there, Mundane Bloodstain. But look, we are at your mercy.
Do we think Mundane Bloodstain didn't know what our names were and was just trying to say
hello?
Say hello.
Derek and Clive.
Derek and Clive.
There is something mundane about just saying Derek and Clive as well.
Yeah. And we're going to have to find a way to work in the bloodstain side of things.
I think so. Yeah. I think
because you're not giving us much to work with Derek and Clive, but you know, that's sometimes where we do our best work.
What is a mundane bloodstain? Like a mundane bloodstain would be like if you hurt yourself on a compass in school.
Yeah.
Or paper cut or something.
Something like that.
I cut my finger last week opening a can of beans. Really sore, but I suppose that was a mundane bloodstain.
It wasn't, you know, the less mundane bloodstains are the kind of, you know, the big ones. Like, you know, you've had your head blown off and then the rest of your body, your headless body is drenched in enormous quantities of blood. That's not a mundane.
Nothing mundane about that.
No.
Although it does happen.
Yeah, it does happen.
It's, you know, in war, maybe.
Yeah, in war.
Cartel
violence, television shows and movies.
Yeah.
It's not real. I would call that a fake bloodstain, but not a fake mundane bloodstain.
No, but this one's all about mundane bloodstains, and hopefully we can do you proud, Mundane Bloodstain.
Yeah.
Thank you for your suggestion. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I am Derek.
And I am Clive, and you're very welcome back to
Derek and Live
with Derek and Clive.
Hello, and I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on which time of the day you are listening to this.
Or indeed, what time zone you're in, because as I understand it, Derek or Clive, there are different time zones.
Now that's the thing, Derek or Clive. I would like to think that there are many time zones, and we are just living in one of them, and I believe the one that we live in currently is Greenwich Mean Time.
Yes. And why is it a mean time? Why can't it be Greenwich Kind Time?
Because it is nicer to be kind, and I'd like to think that when you're listening to this, you are having a kind time, and it's not a mean time. It's quite a nice, lovely, kind time with Derek and Clive.
Derek and Kind with Derek and Clive.
Clive.
Yeah. Time is a funny thing.
It is.
It's all around us. We're experiencing it, but
it's not something you can reach out and touch.
Physically see.
No.
But it's very much there.
But the march of time is relentless, and it waits for no man.
Derek and Time with
Derek and Clive.
With Derek and Kind.
Kind. And we're having a kind time.
Be kind to one another.
Compassionate.
Show mercy where you can.
And where you can't, that's fine. Derek and Fine with Derek and Clive. Now, one thing I did notice this week, yes. Derek or Clive, I looked out the window and I noticed quite a change in the weather.
Yes. Would you believe, Derek and or Clive, I had a very similar experience myself as I looked out the window and I noticed a change in the weather.
It's almost like these days, an observation I made was that it was like 4 seasons in one day.
Yes, indeed. I'd echo that. And I would say that those seasons, from my perspective, in no particular order.
No.
Winter, spring, summer, and the last of the 4 seasons would be
autumn. but depending on which, as we mentioned earlier, which time zone you're in, it could possibly be called fall.
Fall is very much a word that is used interchangeably with autumn in certain parts of the world and certain time zones, because of course time zones are a geographical thing.
Derek and time zone with Derek and Clive zone. And when the weather is changeable like this, it makes it slightly more difficult to tend to my garden. And Derek and or Clive, and also Derek, you know me more than most people, and you know that if there's one thing you know about me, it's that you know that I love to tend to my garden.
Derek/Clive, if I know one thing about you, and I know only one thing about you, but the one thing I know about you is you tend to your garden. Gardening is a big part of who you are as a person, as an entity, as an individual. And those are sort of all ways of saying the same thing. So
Derek and entity with Derek and Clive to tea.
Tell us about how the weather and just everything is affecting your gardening.
Well,
Garden and Clive.
With Derek and Clivening.
Yeah.
I have been out in the garden, and with the recent rainfall, it has kind of disturbed the surface of my garden. So that now sometimes the rodents are getting in, and they're digging away at some of the garden. And I noticed that it was in fact the spot where I had disposed of the bodies.
Yes, the bodies.
Bodies, yes, sorry, there was another body added there recently enough, the
Body and Clive with
Bonnie
Body and Clive.
Clive.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Right. Okay. Well, sometimes I'm worried that they'll dig the bodies right up, but it's great because that I have the trap set for the rodents, and
then you eat the rodents.
I eat the rodents' flesh, and I feast on the flesh, and the smaller the rodents, the tastier the meat, is what I find.
You've always said that. You have always said that, and I've always admired that about you.
Derek and Meyer. Derek and Clive. So it's okay for now.
Yeah.
But if the stench of the decaying body below the ground attracts too much more attention, I could be in for a bit of a rude awakening.
It could be too many rodents, even for you, because as much as you like to eat them, particularly the smaller ones, because as we established, the tasty ones, there's only so many rodents you can eat. Now, my experience with my bodies is very different because I've taken a different tack. I, as you know, keep them in the freezer.
Which is probably the more practical way of dealing with it, or disposing of the victims.
The remains.
The remains, yeah.
But
Derek and remains with Derek and Clive.
And Bonnie and Clyde. But the problem is that when I go to tend to them, to just check in, I get very cold because it's a walk-in freezer. But I can't be in there for more than a few moments without becoming very cold. Derek and cold.
With Derek and cold. Do you find it difficult to navigate Derek and or Clive, and also maybe Clive again? Do you find it difficult to navigate in that the walk-in freezer that you're speaking of here is in the back of a super value, and it is used to store the food for the deli in that super value?
Yes,
because you've been a manager of that super value for many, many years.
Many years. I will tell you this, Derek McClive. I originally found it quite difficult because, of course, there were the other employees to consider, the possibility of them coming across the remains, and occasionally that did happen. And then what ended up happening, really the only way to resolve it is butchering them and adding their remains to the previous remains that they had discovered in the first place. However, as the years went by, not only did I become much more proficient at hiding the remains, I also rose through the ranks, as you said, to the position of manager. And now I am in such a position that I have a tremendous amount of control over who goes in and out of the freezer, and I can make sure that really that they are never found. So yes, I had issues in a previous era. Now, much fewer issues.
Well, it's great to hear that you've kind of hit your stride. Derek in stride with Derek and Clive. I am starting to get used to, I suppose, the little issues that pop up around, such as the rodents, such as the stench. But I will probably, going forward, I will use the chainsaw that I have in my shed, which is not being put to good use yet, but I think that could be the use for it, could be kind of dismembering the remains and then possibly allowing me to use the remains as fertilizer for my garden.
Chainsaw takes lives
with Derek and Clive. But I hope if you have any suggestions as to what I can do to navigate this this precarious situation I'm in, because of course if the stench gets too bad, possibly the neighbours will they will discover and they will inform the authorities and they will be on my back.
Yes.
So hopefully I hope that it does not come to that.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Well, will we leave it there?
I think that's all for today, Derek, Clive, and also Derek and Clive, with a hint of Clive and Derek.
And I would agree, Clive, Derek.
Thank you. Get in touch if you want to talk to us, if you have any tips, gardening tips, or tips about freezers and Super Value.
Or time zones.
Or time zones or weather.
Season.
It's been a hell of a ride.
Yes.
Derek and hell of a ride with Derek and Clive.
And join us again, of course, next week when we will be discussing lukewarm foods and also the best ways to dismember a corpse. I have been very much Derek or Clive. I've certainly been one of those. You could have no doubt about that. And also perhaps Bonnie or Clive.
And I suppose the other side of that would be me. Today I've been Clive and I've also been Derek for a few moments before changing back to
the other one.
The other one. So thank you for listening. We'll see you again.
Bye. Bye.
That was mad. That was mad enough now.
Bit of a few twists and turns there in Derek and Clive.
It was a bit of a mundane bloodstain, really, wasn't it?
Really was a bit of a mundane bloodstain, actually, in many ways.
I found the whole thing quite relaxing, to be honest.
So did I.
Despite some of the subject matter in the later part of the segment.
Some of the topics were a little disturbing, I would have to say.
A bit boring to start off with as well, but I found it quite shit.
That was very much the mundane side of things.
Yeah, it was
where we got to
the bloodstain aspect later on.
But I'd be tuning in to another episode of Derek and Clive with Derek and Clive.
Could be happening next week.
You never know.
They have a lot to discuss next week.
Yeah, lots to unpack.
Well, thank you so much for listening. Because it's been a slightly lethargic episode as we recover from our festivities.
You know what though? I think it came together well.
I think it did.
I think it was funny stuff.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah. I enjoyed it, and we hope you enjoyed it too. If you want to send in any suggestions on scenarios or sketches or whatever, you can at the Roleplay Pod on Instagram or the roleplaypod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Yes. I've been Ryan Carrick. I've been Spider Fella, and I've also been Derek or Clive, and also Derek.
And I have been Simon Hennessy. I've been Elvis Presgeese. And I have also been Derek/Clive/Derek/Clive.
Thank you so much. We love you.
Thanks, guys.
See you again.